Chapter 27, Missing Piece of the Puzzle. Once again, in my employer's office, lunchtime had crept up on me, and I was starving. My hunger was intense, but I had come to realize that my hunger was not restricted merely to the realm of the physical. Yes, I had a physical job that burned many calories during the day. Yes, I was a large muscular man who was dieting for a bodybuilding contest, trying to bring my body weight from a whopping 260 pounds down to 210 pounds in about 5 months. But with all this, I found that my physical hunger was dwarfed in comparison to the hunger I felt gnawing at the inner depths of my soul. Reading the ancient history before me, I found myself both amazed and confused. I was amazed as I read the story of an incredible hero within the book's pages. The story told of a man who lived a life as a common blue-collar worker, a man who stood alone against the superpower nation of his day, a man who stood against the injustices of the established religious and political establishments, a man who fought against insurmountable odds and overcame all opposition, not by violence of the sword, but rather by the mind-boggling revolution of a selfless and sacrificial life and a sacrificial love. My confusion flowed from the fact that though through the years I had heard different people talk about the book and about the man within its pages, now as I read the story myself, I began to realize that you should not believe everything you hear. The eyewitness accounts of the life of this amazing man caused my heart to be irresistibly drawn to him. Here was a man who was constantly surrounded by large crowds of needy people from all walks of life, the religious and non-religious, the moral and immoral, the rich and poor. People came to this man broken and left him healed and renewed. They came to him shame-filled and guilty and left him forgiven and cleansed. This man was bold to speak hard truth to the hypocrites, yet was so compassionate he received the worst of moral offenders and offered pardon and strength for a new start in life. Outcasts from all walks of life were drawn to the miraculous, life-changing touch of this man, and when they came, they were never disappointed. As I read of this man's life, I began to ask myself, how could someone who lived 2,000 years ago and did so much good back then bring hope, peace, and forgiveness to my troubled, broken life today? How could reading this book, simply a book written a couple millennia ago, answer the deepest of life's questions today? How could this man quench my longing search for truth and peace in the here and now? I closed the book and hoped against hope that my search for truth wasn't going to turn out to be in vain. I'd been reading this book for a couple weeks now, and I still wasn't sure what it was trying to tell me. What was I supposed to do? Suddenly I was yanked away from my thoughts by a familiar voice, not knowing that my questions were about to be answered. "Dale, your next appointment is here," the front desk receptionist informed me from the doorway of the office. "Thank you, I'll be there in a minute," I answered her. I closed the book and tried to collect my thoughts. I stood looking down at the book for a moment, hoping that I would find the missing piece to the puzzle, that piece which the whole puzzle revolved around. I turned from the table and began to walk towards my next appointment, unaware that my past was soon about to catch up with me. There was a man in the waiting room of the clinic who had come to see me. None of the staff or clients in the clinic knew that this man was armed with a concealed razor-sharp dagger. He had come with a message from his boss, the boss whom I had for years repeatedly slandered, mocked, and stolen from. I would carry the scars from this meeting for the rest of my life.